Hello everyone, my name is Robert Bellafiore. I'm a senior from Albany, New York, studying economics and philosophy. And this semester, I had the great honor of serving as the team lead for TechCon, I-CCEW's oldest and most illustrious program. We've been working with OU professor Dr. Rocky Zhang and his research assistants, Hernan Suarez and Yiru Huang. They've developed an incredible product, which we've dubbed a sea drone, that allows for better weather data collection in a variety of fields and industries. Our job this semester has been to figure out who could use this technology and who would produce it. In addition to getting help throughout the semester from our inventors, we've received invaluable advice from the I-CCEW staff, especially from our fellow, Michael Rath, and from our mentor, Andrew Pollack. TechCom's had a great semester, full of late team meetings, field trips across the research campus, and a lot of bubble tea. I'm really proud of the fantastic work that Jack, Christina, Unhee, and Chris have put in over the last 3 months, and I'm really excited for them to share their insights with you. With that, I'd like to turn it over to TechCom to tell you all about sea drones.
$69,185. That's the number of people that were displaced due to Hurricane Harvey. 15,894. The number of people that were killed in the Japanese tsunamis in 2011. Although we can't prevent disasters like these, we can use the right tools to better prepare for them. This project came about when a Japanese weather company recognized their need for improved data quality and increased forecasting confidence, and then reached out to the university and began funded research. Since then, OU researchers have developed a product which satisfies their needs. The university's product, which we call Sea Drones, is an unmanned surface vehicle, which is an autonomous robot that operates on the surface of the water collecting weather data. And USVs are currently revolutionizing the process of collecting weather data, allowing for more informative reports that can better prepare society for whatever lies ahead. After conducting over 40 interviews and doing countless hours of research, our team can confidently state that we've identified the steps that the university needs to take to commercialize this product. And we've estimated that it will generate roughly $21.9 million for the university. My name is Jack Sparks. I'm from Flower Mound, Texas, and I'm studying finance and entrepreneurship.
My name is Unhee Tark. I'm from South Korea, and I'm studying biology.
My name is Chris Carter. I'm from Moleca, Oklahoma, and I'm studying industrial and systems engineering.
My name is Christina Nguyen. I'm from Moore, Oklahoma. I'm studying economics and management information systems.
Our inventors are Dr. Rocky Zhang, Hernan Suarez, and Yiru Huang. Our mentor is Andrew Pollack, and our team lead is Robert Bellafiore. And together, we are Team TechCom. The current problems with the existing technology in the weather information market is that they're providing unreliable and limited amounts of data. This is particularly evident in the case of Japan with their DART buoys. So DART buoys are essentially tsunami data collecting buoys which are located all over the world. And since they exist globally, that means their problems exist globally too. These problems include the fact that they only have 3 data points located off of their shore. And because of that, there's a limited amount. Additionally, the data transfer time is roughly 20 minutes, which means that it takes quite a bit of time just to begin analyzing the data that's being collected. To implement the system, it costs $750,000, and it takes 187 hours just to put them out in the ocean. And finally, the failure rate for these buoys is 20 to 30%, which means 20 to 30% of the time, the buoys aren't even collecting data, which puts society at a huge disadvantage. Considering all of these problems, we think that there's ample opportunity for improvement, and our proposition is sea drones. So with sea drones, we could replace and supplement the DART buoys that are off the coast of Japan with over 60 points of data, which is 20 times the number of points that are already in existence. Additionally, the data transfer time is only 5 minutes for sea drones, which means that society's provided 15 more minutes to act in the case that there's a weather emergency or anything of that sort, which is pretty significant in the event of a disaster. Additionally, the system cost is $500,000 for Sea Drones, and the deployment time is only 117 hours, which both of those things considered are cost savings. And finally, the failure rate for Sea Drones is only 10%, which means that they operate more consistently than that of the Dart buoy system, as they are about half the rate of failing compared to the Dart buoy system. So we see Sea Drones as a vast improvement compared to the existing technologies. And they really can improve the different data quality that's being collected and increase the forecasting confidence that society and Japan in this case can have. To talk more about the specifics of this technology, we have Uni, and she will show you how Sea Drones is much more than just a viable solution for this problem.
Thank you, Jack. So, what exactly is Sea Drone? Sea Drone is a marine weather technology. It resembles the boogie board. It has motors, sensors, and solar panels attached to it, and it swims around on the surface of the ocean collecting marine weather data. It has 3 key features that allow us to solve the problem. First is the customization of sensors. This means that sensors inside the Sea Drone can be changed according to the customer's desire and to collect the data that they want. The second is the inter-network communication. This is an ability of Sea Drone to communicate with each other. There are 2 nodes of Sea Drones, monitoring nodes and mother nodes. Monitoring nodes focuses on data collection, and mother nodes focuses on communication. Mother nodes receives the data from monitoring nodes, sends it to the satellite, and then to the ground station. This allows faster data transmission time, as well as high accuracy and efficiency. The third is the swarming capability. This is an ability of Sea Drone to compensate. If you take a look at the graphics, the red dot represents the mother nodes, the white dot represents the monitoring nodes, and the white lines represents the communication between each other. And let's say in case there was a thunderstorm which destroys 2 of our precious Sea Drones. In such a case, nearby Sea Drones can move up, compensate, and still collect the data from the same region of the ocean. And this is the swarming capability of Sea Drone. And these 3 features of Sea Drone, make Sea Drones the competitive technology in the market. The current technology in the market is composed of buoys, remote sensors, and USVs. Buoys float on the surface of the ocean. They have sensors attached to them, and they collect marine weather data. Remote sensors are basically sensors that are attached to pipelines, ships, or they lie on the seabed, and they collect the data. USVs are just like Sea Drones. They swim around on the surface of the ocean, and they collect the data. Through various interviews with manufacturers, service providers, and other various weather experts, we have identified the key metrics that are desired by the customers. As you can see, inter-network communication is the key feature that none of the current technology has. Customization is possible in some of the technology, yet it is only the USVs that are mobile. This mobility feature also contributes to the ease of deployment, yet Sea Drone has one of the lowest costs. Remote sensors has lowest cost, yet that is because they can only collect 1 parameter of the data. And lifespan is the point at which this technology needs to be taken out of the water. And as you can see, Sea Drone can last up to 5 years in comparison to 16 hours of other USVs. Buoys and remote sensors can last up to 10 to 30 years, yet that is because they are immobile. And all these features of Sea Drones and being the most competitive, Sea Drone is now ready to get into the market. And here's Chris to talk more about it.
Thank you, Unhee. Sea Drones has proven itself to be a useful, innovative technology, and has already secured a Japanese customer who will purchase tens of thousands of units. But there are several other entities with the capital and the need for this technology. Sea Drones is entering the $10.2 billion weather data market. In this market, NOAA is the largest entity, accounting for 49%, followed by various other U.S. entities at 39% and the international market at 12%. In the international market, Japan is the largest at 56%, followed by Australia and the United Kingdom. Looking at this market, it is obvious that NOAA dominates, accounting for nearly half of every dollar spent. Because NOAA is so substantial, Sea Drones will target NOAA as their next target customer once they fulfill their initial Japanese customer's order. But NOAA is a desirable target customer not only for its large budget. NOAA is a marine technology powerhouse and provides weather data to several entities in both the domestic and the international market. By providing NOAA with sea drones, you provide sea drones value to the entire market. What's better, because sea drones will already have been purchased and used by a similar entity, NOAA will be aware of the technology. NOAA continuously researches and benchmarks their industry and is always looking for the latest and greatest in marine technology. When Sea Drone shows that it's a useful, innovative technology, NOAA will be aware. And finally, NOAA has a use for this technology. We've identified 6 live bids from NOAA and determined that Sea Drones could fulfill these bids more effectively and affordably than the current technology used. But before NOAA can use Sea Drones, it has to be manufactured. The University of Oklahoma is unable to manufacture and sell products itself and must license the technology it owns to outside entities. To determine who these entities would be, we conducted 15 interviews with USV manufacturers. And in these interviews, we identified 3 criteria that a manufacturer must possess for Sea Drones to be successful. First, the manufacturer should operate internationally so that Sea Drones is easily accessible to the global market. Second, the manufacturer should have a strong relationship with the target customer, in this case, NOAA, as this industry is heavily relationship driven. And finally, the manufacturer should employ ISO 9000 quality standards, an indicator that they produce reliable, quality products. Of our 15 manufacturers, there were several that met these criteria, but there were 2 that especially stood out. The first was Liquid Robotics, who recently expressed a strong interest in being granted the license to Sea Drone. And while other manufacturers produce a variety of technologies, Liquid Robotics specializes in USV production. And last year, they earned $50 million in revenue. The second manufacturer was Kongsberg. Kongsberg is the largest marine technology company in the world. And in our interview with NOAA, we learned that NOAA works with Kongsberg more than any other manufacturer. Kongsberg is also an industry leader in product quality and innovation, and last year earned $20 billion in revenue. By licensing to manufacturers such as these, Sea Drones will be easily accessible to the target customer, NOAA, who will learn about Sea Drones through industry research and benchmarking, and will then post a bid outlining their data and technological needs. The manufacturer will then propose Sea Drones as the answer to these bids after entering into a licensing agreement with the University of Oklahoma. After receiving a payment from NOAA, they will provide them with Sea Drones and will then pay a royalty to the university in the form of an initial $50,000 fee followed by a 4% royalty for every unit produced. NOAA will then deploy Sea Drones, collect accurate weather data, and provide that data to various international and domestic entities, such as Royal Caribbean and the Weather Channel. But for a manufacturer to enter into a licensing agreement, Sea Drones must be a financially viable option. Now I'm going to hand it off to Christina, who will talk to you about Sea Drones' financial potential.
Thank you, Chris. Sea Drones will generate an estimated amount of $21.9 million for OU from the purchase of 156,000 units. We mentioned earlier that our private weather company is interested in making a first initial purchase of 10,000 units, which can generate $1.4 million for OU. If the technology is proven to be successful, the company will be interested in making an additional purchase of 90,000 units, which sums up to 100,000 units. This will generate $14 million for OU in royalties. In a conversation with NOAA, we identified the relevant cost and evaluated the purchasings of government agencies. We used an exponential analysis and we estimated an additional sale of $29,000 that will be made by NOAA and an additional 27,000 units that will be made by other international governments. Together, these government agencies will generate an estimated $7.8 million for OU in royalties. But before any of these royalties can begin being generated, there are a few steps that needs to be taken. To get to this state, for this reason, we recommend that OU file a provisional patent by the end of April 2018 in order for the provisional patent to be converted a year later. Then negotiations will take place and the patent will be issued around 2021 to 2022. Negotiations with a potential manufacturers will take place around April 2019 in order to form a potential partnership. Further testing will be necessary for sea drones, so we recommend researchers continue to do unit, system, and environmental testing. Moreover, the technology will be needed to be taken out into the ocean to finalize these testings. So we recommend that researchers apply for an MPRS permit. This permit is issued by the Environmental Protection Agency, and it simply allows for sea drones to be out in the ocean to conduct experimental testings and research. We really enjoyed working on this project, and we're very excited for sea drones' big splash on the market. There's an initial market of up to 156,000 units, which will generate an estimated $21.9 million for OU. Sea drones' increased forecast confidence will have a positive impact by allowing more people to better prepare for adverse weather conditions. Thank you so much for your time. Now we would like to open up the floor for questions. Yes.
I'm curious, what is the IP that's unique and protected that you think will persist for a period of time until it's proven and ready to actually license?
So your question is regarding what is specifically the part of the technology that's patented. So the way we look at it is the entire thing technically is patentable, but what we expect to be patented by the end of this 4 to 5 year period, 2021 or 2022, will be the internet network communications, and this is what makes the technology so unique. As for the rest of it, it's quite simply many different technologies that are already existing, putting together. So they're not as unique, the combination of them together that makes it unique. But to emphasize it once more, the most unique and primary portion that we expect to be patented in this technology is the ability to communicate, specifically the coding that allows that.
Yes.
This question comes from Facebook. It says, within NOAA, who is the target user and how will sea drones benefit their work and when?
So your question is from NOAA, who is the target user and who will benefit? So NOAA is a researcher in and of themselves. They are funded by the U.S. government to research the weather and the ocean and all things related. And so NOAA themselves will be the target for sea drones to NOAA. But other companies and individuals use the data they collect. NOAA makes that data available to anyone who wants it, and it can become more customized if the customers of NOAA's data or the users of NOAA's data want to pay and help them make it more customized.
If I can presume to follow up on their behalf, I think they might be asking specifically what within NOAA. So beyond just the whole organization of NOAA, are there specific subdivisions of NOAA that this works to serve?
Yeah, so your question is where within NOAA would sea drones be targeting? That would be the project management division of NOAA. The project management division are the individuals who make the decisions regarding what technology should be used to gather what kind of data.
Yes.
I've never given this much thought. How long does it take to get a patent?
Your question is how long does it
Yeah, what's the average time for patent review? Is it 3 or 4 years?
Yes, in this case, it is roughly 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
I just try to understand the fields. Are we going to have data, right? So are we going to just be made? Are we really involved in the technology, how to collect data, and how to manipulate data? Or we just need data? If you know, your customer say, hey, I want to manipulate data this way. And I would like to take data or somebody else will do it. Just need data.
Yes, so your question is regarding whether or not we'll be patenting the manipulation of the data. And expect to be patenting the coding which goes into allowing this network communications, as the technology is collecting the data and then transmits it off to, in the case of our customer that we previously mentioned, this Japanese weather information company, they will be doing the manipulation and analysis of this data. So we can't patent any sort of analysis or manipulation that they might do with it. So we're simply collecting.
Yes.
Have you looked at any other applications of C-drones other than just manipulating another?
So your question is there any other application for sea drones besides weather data collection? Yes. So any sensor that can fit on the drone can be used to collect any type of weather data or any data at all that you want with the drone. It can be used to scan for the topography of the ocean floor or the shallows of the ocean. It can be used to monitor marine wildlife or marine waste from companies in the ocean. That's one application of this technology. But any sensor that can fit on the drone, you can use to collect the data that it can collect. That's one of the features of sea drones.
Yes.
Have you considered the Department of Defense as a target for this technology?
So your question is, have we considered the Department of Defense for this technology? Yes. We did look into them, and they are interested in using USVs. The Navy is currently looking into the idea of surface warfare using USVs. So it's definitely an area of expansion, although we did focus this project around the idea of collecting weather. So we did review it, but did not look into it all too extensively.
Yes.
In regards to the swarming capabilities, you mentioned if one or two of the white dots, the smaller sea drones that are feeding back into the bigger red dots, get taken out, then others can take their place. In the event that one of the bigger red dots, which I assume is where the data is being maybe transferred from, in the event that one of those go down, is there some sort of data redundancy or data recovery process in place to make sure that it's not just a total loss?
Yes, your question is what happens if one of the mother nodes goes down? The mother nodes communicate with each other as well. So in case the mother node goes down, the nearby mother nodes can still move around the monitoring nodes to still collect the data from the same region of the ocean.
Yes.
This is the last question.
This is the Center for the Creation of Economic Wealth in Oklahoma. Can you set about the process of negotiating license procedures such that the manufacturer is located in the state of Oklahoma?
Your question is whether or not we looked into a manufacturer that exists in Oklahoma. And we did early on in the project, and what we found is that the primary manufacturers that are located in Oklahoma wouldn't be able to meet all of the criteria that we have to the degree that we were wanting. For one of the primary reasons was that since Oklahoma is landlocked, that puts them at a disadvantage. Additionally, though, since like Kongsberg, for instance, they're such a large manufacturer, the manufacturers that we found that got closest to meeting all of our criteria were not of the same caliber that some of the other manufacturers if we were to expand outward from this
You
area.
might make one of your criteria that they locate in Oklahoma.
Yes.
That'll settle it right on the spot. I think it's certain way, right?
Going forward, that'll certainly be one of the criteria.